love bourbon. You love balls. Now put your balls where your bourbon is. Whiskey with Friends presents Bourbon and Balls with your hosts, Vinny, Colby, Anthony, and Aaron.
There we
now
are.
It's,
man, we were on mute
the whole time.
apparently.
Bring it back, baby. The people can interpret what we've talked about the past 15 minutes or how long.
Yeah.
11 minutes. I had someone calling me. My wife texted me. I should have answered the phone call when I got the call first.
Apparently.
10 minutes ago.
All right, guys. Sorry, we're constantly working through our issues here. Thanks for bearing with us.
Your camera's smooth.
I know. We'll start again. It went gray on me. We'll start again with our news real quick here.
Rattle them off real quick.
Yeah, we'll rattle them off real quick. We talked about 3 things while we're getting set back up. The 3 things we talked about are N'Keal Harry's holdout. There was a consensus as we went through it that there's not a real big fantasy implication either way. Wherever he goes, there's no home run area that he could possibly go to, no team that he could go to that makes him magically more valuable.
Possibly the Lions.
Yeah, the Lions would be the best bet.
Mm-hmm.
And I know we don't have video right now. We're working back into it right now. Apologize for the issue. We have a new setup this week that we're trying to get a hold of here.
Anthony wanted the table moved.
Yeah, this is all Anthony's fault.
As always.
Second piece of news was there was no opt-outs, no real surprises there. Some people thought Aaron Rodgers was going to opt out just as his battle with the Packers, but he didn't opt out. Nobody opted out. And then the third and final was the Cowboys were selected for the 3rd time to be on Hard Knocks. So we talked about what the most interesting storyline of Hard Knocks would be this year with that understanding. And the consensus was they battled through a lot of injuries last year. Dak obviously had a gruesome ankle injury. Zeke was battling some injuries. Half their line was out for most of the season. So we're excited to see if they can come back from those injuries, what they look like. Is Dak really as back as they're saying he is? So on and so forth. So those are our news stories. Now we're getting into a segment that we call B&B's Believe It or Not. So I'm going to read off some headlines that are considered consensus in the industry that are floating around pretty commonly. And we're going to talk about whether or not you should believe them and whether or not you should get on board from a fantasy perspective. So we are just about back online here, guys. Sorry for the
Technical
difficulties. Yeah. Oh, and we're drinking. Colby, why don't you tell the group about our bourbon today?
We're drinking Bourbon Brothers, which is out of Virginia. It's A. Smith Distillery, I believe. Let me just double check. The A. Smith Bowman Distillery. They don't have their own distillate. They supposedly take Buffalo Trace's mash bill number 1 and do their thing with it. And it's the first time we've all had it. I'm a big Buffalo Trace fan. I know Vinny's a big Buffalo Trace fan. And it is absolutely delightful. And it's a $35 bottle of whiskey, Bowman Brothers small batch. If you see it, I recommend buying it. It's really good.
All right. Without further ado, we're going to come back on camera for you. I know you miss our beautiful faces. And almost. Ta-da! Not yet.
Oh. I mean, almost everybody left.
I know.
Yeah.
I know. All right. Well, we're still working through it. So let's get started anyway.
They can hear our beautiful voices. And
Yeah, I know.
It's at least half the
This
battle.
is officially a podcast. We had everything working except we were muted, and now we lost video too. But all right, so welcome to our audio-only podcast on YouTube for the moment. We'll get into our topics here. So we're still working through the camera stuff. The first topic for Believe It or Not, where we talk about industry consensus and tell you whether to believe it or not, is with the retirement of Drew Brees and the issues he had last year, Michael Thomas is no longer an elite wide receiver. So, Aaron, why don't you give us your thoughts?
I don't believe that. I think that Michael Thomas is far too talented.
It's a fantasy football draft.
Yeah.
I feel like he's not going to be in the top 5. Whoever drafts him, you're going to be at the end of the first round, beginning the second round, and you're going to get insane value, and people are going to kick themselves in the ass come week 5, week 6.
Yes, I should have taken him with my first or second overall, like
Yeah,
first or
it's
second,
gonna-
not
it's gonna
overall,
be-
but
yeah.
like round pick, and I agree with that.
I think he's going to be.
Yeah, you can't.
There you go.
Yeah, I just need to go back in.
Yeah, you can't. Oh, no, it's right there.
Now it is, because I just rebooted it.
Oh, Jesus.
All right, well, sorry for all the technical difficulties.
For you that have stuck around,
Yeah,
thank
for
you.
those of you that have stuck around, the 5 of you that are here right now, thank you very much. What a mess, man. We every week we're trying to fix our setup a little bit. You'll notice we have a green screen this week. That's part of the problem. We have a new table set up, new camera set up, new microphone set up. So we're working through it. We appreciate you guys bearing with us here. Hopefully you haven't missed a ton. We're not gonna go back through everything. We started with a little bit of news, nothing too crazy, and now we're into a segment called B&B's Believe It or Not, where we're talking about industry consensus and rumors and things that are flying around and whether you should believe them or not. The first one is Michael Thomas is no longer an elite wide receiver. We all debunked that. He is still an elite wide receiver. He has freakish talent. He still has a quarterback that loves to sling the ball. There aren't a ton of tools in that offense, so we all still believe he's an elite wide receiver, and he's being drafted way too late right now. The second that we just started getting into was Kyle Pitts. Now that Julio is out in Atlanta, Kyle Pitts is going to be a top 5 tight end. So Anthony started us off with an agreement. I countered with most tight ends do not perform right off the bat. And then we started talking about his competition to make top 5. So obviously you're sitting Kelsey Kittle 1, 2, Waller 3.
Yeah.
So he's not going to break that 3, right? Like we can agree he's not.
But who's better than him?
So we're only playing with a 2 tight end wiggle room here. So, and Hawkinson, Gesicki, like there are some
Goddard,
really good
Goddard,
fantasy.
like,
Goddard,
yeah, you could put
Ertz.
him in that.
What if
Ertz.
What if Ertz goes to the Bills?
Well, then he's a top 5.
There we
go. Okay.
There we go.
Okay.
Come on. You have the best
got
quarterback in the league. You have the best quarterback in the league.
Shut him up.
There it is.
So it's a no for me. I think Kyle, there's way too much hype around him. I think if we're talking dynasty, then I'd say yes all day.
Over his career, yeah.
He
I'll
will
agree with that.
likely be the best tight end in the league in the next 3 years. But right now, this year, new team, it's a new offense for the whole team. They have, they got the offensive coordinator from the Titans. That's their head coach right now.
Yeah.
That's a completely different style of offense.
Run heavy.
They signed 11 old running backs.
Yeah.
Like, I just don't think that's their plan. I don't think their plan is to throw to the tight end, 120 times a game. 120 times a year, which is what you need to be in the top 5 or top 3 or 4.
Look at his tight
I don't
ends.
think he's going to get it.
Look at his tight ends in Tennessee. You had
Johnny
Smith, and before that,
he was good.
You had
Delaney
Delaney
Walker.
Walker.
They were both good.
I mean,
neither one of them were top 5.
It was Delaney
Delaney
Walker at
Walker
one point
was
but I don't think
100%
but
top
Arthur Smith I don't think was the
it's a
offensive
different
coordinator.
offense,
Delaney
different
Walker is
No.
older than Tom Brady at this point.
So we have a yes and no, Colby.
I got to say no this year. He's not gonna. I don't see him. Obviously, he's not breaking the Kelsey Kittle Waller wall.
Not breaking the wall. It's not breaking the wall.
Trying to get
that much.
We're back on camera, so
he's
he's going to throw some of those in.
Oh yeah, I am. TJ Hawkinson, he's not going to. I mean, I don't. He'll probably finish. He'll finish top 10 in fantasy, but I don't think he's going to finish top 5. I don't think so. Like you said,
I would agree with
tight
that.
end.
He will be top 10. He won't be top 10.
Tight ends don't typically have a great rookie season. I'm going to assume they're going to run the brakes off of Mike Davis and whatever old 47-year-old running back.
Johnson.
Yeah, I mean, apparently they want to run the ball is the case. And they also, I think they lost a few offensive linemen. Alex Mack isn't there anymore. That was their center that's been there for a while. And
he's like 40-something years old now.
And he's still a great center.
I'd take him all day. Yeah.
So then his age doesn't matter.
All right, so Aaron, where are you sitting on this?
I don't think he's going to be a top 5 this year.
All right,
he's got too much stacked against him.
Yeah, we're sitting
Name
3-1.
four.
I think
name
the biggest issue with tight ends coming into the league is that you need to be able to block, or you're not going to be on the field. Like, you can't just be a wide receiver in the tight end spot. That doesn't exist in the NFL. So until he learns how to block, I just don't think he's going to get enough snaps. All right, so we're three no's and a yes on that one. That was Kyle Pitts. We debunked that.
Zach
we also
goes to
debunked
the
the first one. Yeah. Then
those numbers are going to get readjusted.
All right, the next one, speaking of Arthur Smith, speaking of the Titans, Derrick Henry will hit 2,000 yards for his second consecutive season. True or false? Colby, why don't you start us off?
Derrick Henry hitting 2,000 yards for a second season. I don't think so. I mean, Derrick Henry is an unbelievable talent. He's just amazing. He's proven me wrong the past, I feel like, 2 years now. But eventually, coming from seeing Larry Johnson's wheels fall off hard after getting the rock, I don't see him. One of these years, he's going to get the volume, but the yards and the touchdowns and stuff aren't going to be. This body can't just hold this up.
Yeah.
Likely he'll prove me wrong again, but I don't think so. He'll still be in the top 3 in rushing, but I don't think we see 2,000-yard rusher this year, even with the extra game.
All right, so we have a no. Aaron?
I think it's a tough one. I think based off his work ethic and the way the guy plays, it's easy to say yes, but then you have to add in the element of Julio Jones. And I think that kind of at this point, you don't have to run it all the time now. You have 2 legit wide receivers right now. You have a running game. I mean, Titans are looking pretty darn good on paper right now.
Yeah.
So that being said, no, I mean, can he do it? I think he can, but will he? Probably not this year.
Anthony?
Well, I'll go off what both of you said. 17 games now. So you're giving him one extra game.
Mm-hmm.
I think. And then, yes, Julio Jones, but Tannehill is still Tannehill. Tannehill likes to run the ball. I mean,
Tannehill, I think, is the most efficient quarterback in the last
Yeah,
he's efficient,
absolutely
but
fantastic.
look who he has. I think one of the reasons he's so good is because he knows if he has to hand the ball off to somebody, he has that monster behind him.
Pressure on him,
Yeah.
which is
Exactly.
great.
You have a monster behind
The
you.
offensive line is absolutely
I mean, the
fantastic,
offensive
too.
line's great. You have a monster behind you. You have, listen, you watch some of these videos of Derrick Henry in
He's
the
an
weight room.
animal.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like
he's a terrifying
Absolute
human being.
freaking nature.
it's like he turns around, looks at him, and looks at Derrick Henry in the eyes, and is like, "Okay, here you go. Go get me a first down."
Yeah,
So let's be real. Derrick Henry makes the defense come up.
Mhm.
You're not playing coverage on the Titans. You're stopping Derrick Henry first.
Even
and
with
then,
Julio?
okay, so you back
But I
off.
think
What
this-
happens?
But I think
What
that's an
happens?
argument for him. I'm
Exactly.
not fighting you. I think
You
that's
put
an
now
argument
you have
for
Julio
him.
back, so now you have
Maybe
to.
they're stuffing the box.
So
less.
now you can't stuff the box now
Alright.
because you have AJ Brown and Julio,
Yeah.
and now that gives Derrick Henry room to go get 2,500 yards.
I agree. This is a tough one for me. It's a tough one for me because of Arthur Smith. Did they only run Derrick Henry into the ground because of Arthur
Mhm.
Smith, or is that their plan? There's a lot of weird variables here, right? Like running backs they have a really short career, especially ones that get run into the ground like this.
Yeah.
So any year he's going to turn into his fall off is going to be really aggressive. Like
Chris
he's not
Johnson 2.0.
yeah, he's not going to
point.
taper off. He's
Yeah.
just going to be
It's gonna
done
end.
all of
Yeah.
a sudden.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's this year. So I think he's still elite. I think Julio Jones takes a safety out of the box on a lot of plays. I think the new offensive coordinator that's coming in, a new offense, you're not going to come in, instill an entirely new offense, and then not lean on the run.
Yeah.
I think you're like, okay, we know we have an animal in the backfield here. If it was all purpose yards,
It
so it's a little more difficult without Arthur Smith. We don't know what the new offense is going to look like at all. But I'm still saying because of his talent, because of how successful he's been, and because everyone is acclimating to a new offense, they're going to lean on him for one more year. He's going to get it. You ask me next year, it's going to be enough.
I mean, look at the rankings that we've seen so far. The last 2 years, he's been a 5 or 6 running back, and now he's like number 2 and everything behind CMC.
He's an animal.
He is. He's a.
All right. So we have 2 and 2 on that one. Next one is Lamar Jackson will return to form and be a top 3 quarterback this year. So for context, the Ravens drafted 2 wide receivers in the top 3 rounds, and they signed Sammy Watkins this year. So they're doing everything they can to surround him with some talent. Is it enough to bring him back to top 3, Colby?
I don't think so. Sammy Watkins, I've taken completely out of the equation, coming from him being on the Chiefs for the past 3 years. He's great when he's on the field, but that's when he's on the field. You can count for 7 or 8 games at most. I mean, you're a Bills fan, you know Sammy Watkins. He's always hurt.
Yeah.
Always hurts. So when he's on the field, he's great, but I don't think you can go out there and count on 2 rookie wide receivers to instantly make him to fix his accuracy issues and all this other stuff. I mean, that's the thing with Mark Brown. I don't even fucking remember his first name at this point. Whatever.
Hollywood.
Whatever. Some Hollywood Brown.
John.
It's not John. I know it's not John Brown.
Hollywood Brown.
But I mean, he's leaned on him heavily, and he's got hands of stone too. And I got a feeling he's still going to lean on him heavily because
They're boys.
They've been together for a couple years. They built up that just kind of chemistry, and he's the one guy I've seen Lamar at least hit in the hands. He just doesn't always catch the ball. So I'm going to say no. He's going to be top 10 again, but in fantasy, but I'm saying no.
All right, Aaron. Does Lamar Jackson return to top 3 quarterbacks this year?
Not top 3. He'll be good in fantasy. But again,
Where would you put him if not top 3? Just out of curiosity.
Is this fantasy or is this
Fantasy.
Okay.
he's in my top 10 for quarterback. I mean, obviously, I know
so.
that's
I hope
a
so.
broad statement, but I mean, again, it's
He finished, for context for our viewers, he finished 10th last year, so
Mhm.
that's not outlandish.
Yeah. I mean, it's his accuracy. Yeah, the guy's got legs and he can look downfield, but his delivery to the wide receiver is what's in question.
Yeah.
And that's a big part of playing quarterback. So when that's in question, I mean, can you guarantee any of that? You can't.
No.
I mean, yes, he's excitable to watch and he'll make you a play and he'll put fans in the seats, but can he do
you
it
think Ravens
consistently
fans
enough?
love Lamar Jackson?
100%.
Do you
Oh,
think,
God.
is that
Oh, I mean, I feel like you have
oh
to.
my goodness, I wouldn't want him as an offense.
I mean, I feel like you have to, and you have to have this hope that he's going to get his accuracy under control. You
Mhm.
have to.
I don't
at that
think
point.
accuracy
It's
is
not the
his
accuracy,
issue.
not the
I think
problem.
it's his intelligence. I think it's his football.
Oh, yeah, he's a
I think it's his
idiot.
football intelligence. Like I don't think he's ever going to be smart enough for you to run a complex offense with.
All these.
And in today's day and age,
Yeah.
like, you can't run. Look at Mike McCarthy getting run out of Green Bay because he tried to run this like high school level offense, and it was a joke.
Rodgers
and the
wouldn't
only
let him, yeah.
yeah, it was a joke. Like I just don't think he's smart
Yeah.
enough to understand what defenses are trying to do to him, to understand these complex like things. From a fantasy perspective, if he wasn't as fast as he is, he would have virtually no value whatsoever. He would not be a
He
starting
would
quarterback
be
in the
a
NFL.
backup on the
If
Bills
he-
right now.
Backing up Trubisky and
Hey, we have the best backup in the league right now. Leave it alone.
hey, second best.
Just
Chad
because
Henne.
of his legs. Well, who's your backup?
Chad Henne.
You still have Chad
Oh,
Henne back?
Oh yeah,
I
man.
miss Matt Moore.
he's my man.
He's my
I like
favorite.
Matt
Matt
Moore. He was a practice squad guy last year.
Just because of his legs, you know.
You have to put him top 2.
Yeah, fantasy quarterbacks, fantasy in general, you get a point for every 10 yards rushed and a point for every 25 yards thrown. So the reality is, if one 10-yard rush is more valuable than 60 yards throwing, like it's or no.
No, it's
Yeah,
not.
he's good. I mean, he's going to get you.
I
That's
did
some
that
bad
wrong.
math.
You're right. I did that math. wrong.
Stop it.
I-
20.
I know. I started that differently.
Come on.
And then in my head,
Yeah,
I
he's
changed
good.
it.
I mean, because at the end of the day, he's going to run for 70, 80 yards a game.
We got a show from the audience. I'm going to put it on the screen here, and then I'm going to ask it to Aaron. The question from DJ Showtime 12 is, how many games above 500 with the Chicago Bears end the year?
Ooh.
How many
17
above
17
500?
game
17
season.
Ooh.
games.
So 9 would be just above 500.
I mean, DJ, I'm going to talk to you. I'm going to get on a level with you right now, man. We need to figure out our QB situation before I can answer that question. I mean,
you got to answer it.
how many above 500?
Do it this way. With Fields as your quarterback.
No.
No. I'm gonna shoot from the hip and answer this the right way.
Okay.
I'm going to say the Bears finish
-3.
carry the 2. No, I think that it is possible for Chicago to get 10 wins this year.
So 10 and 7.
So 1.5 games above.
Yeah, I will
10 and 7 is
say
3 games over.
What? Over
17 games, 10 and 7.
No, it doesn't work like that.
8.5 is
I fucked up my
8.5 is.
Yeah, I fucked up my math, so it's
500.
fine.
That might
yeah. I will say 10 games. Chicago can win 10 games. Will they win 10 games?
So they're 3 games over 500.
I don't know.
No, because you have to count the loss with the win. So
Yeah.
9 and 7 last year was not 2 games over 500. It was 1 game over 500. Because that win becomes a loss.
So
I
you
got
think
I got you.
the Bears
we
will
both
win
fucked
10
up our
games?
math. It's
Yeah.
fine. I'm not.
I think they have, yes.
Potential.
Yes. The potential, not saying they will.
No. What is your prediction? Your prediction was 10.
10.
10 and 7.
All right, so
10.
it's a game and it's a half a game above or a game and a half above
Yeah.
500. It's weird
Yeah,
math.
it's weird, just
It's
baseball
an
weird,
odd
man.
number.
It's like
It's
fucking
an
weird.
odd number.
I hate it.
So decent. They're not going to make the playoffs based on that, I assume. You never know. 'cause last
You
year-
don't know.
You're right,
You
but
don't
I mean,
never
look
say
at some
never.
it's true. But I would guess
Teams have
not.
made the playoffs at 7 and 9.
Thanks for the question, DJ Showtime. Stay sexy. Cheers.
DJ Shufflin.
All right,
The Bears
so
questions. I like it.
we left it at Lamar Jackson. All 4 of us said no.
I
He
didn't
will
say
not.
anything. You didn't ask me.
You did say. You said you answered before I did.
Never.
All right. So is he going to get back to the top 3?
I've never liked Lamar Jackson.
Okay.
When
so
he
we got
came
it. So
out,
no
when
is
he
the
when he
answer.
came out of the when he came out of the draft,
This
he
next
came out of the
question is
draft
for you.
with-
You don't care about Lamar Jackson.
I
This
don't.
next
He's a
question is for you.
shit.
Yeah. All right. The next question. So
How
we all
many,
said no.
how many Stephon Diggs over 500 did Bills finish?
Suck Stephon Diggs. Let's go. I'm ready for
Laviska
this.
Shenault,
Ooh.
Jaguars wide receiver, second-year wide receiver, second, right?
Yeah.
Is primed for a breakout season.
Do
Anthony.
you want me to start that?
Yeah, I want you to start it.
I'm drafting him.
But how high?
I mean, I drafted
No,
him
no,
last
it's
year.
okay.
I drafted him last year.
Did you play him?
I did a couple games. I did.
Not
How'd
nearly
that go
enough.
for
Not
you?
nearly enough.
I mean, he got me over 10 points a couple games. He is someone that you hand the ball off to or you throw to, and you have. I mean, Gardner Minshew could be a starter in the NFL.
He's a starter.
He is.
Yeah.
Do you take Trevor Lawrence this year over him?
Of
course.
Of course.
Hmm.
So I think he gets more fantasy points with Trevor
Colby's saying
Lawrence
no.
than Gardner Minshew.
Nah, it's all right.
You
His
know,
first year. The difference is you're talking a rookie compared to Gardner Minshew wasn't a rookie last year.
Yeah.
Second year.
you're the Jaguars.
Yeah.
Come on, let's be real.
They're still the Jaguars.
I
All
mean,
right. So you're saying yes.
I personally think
Let's
Laviska
define a
Shenault-
breakout season. Where do you like wide receiver rankings without getting into our whole rankings? We'll do that in another show.
I mean,
Is he going to make top 10 wide receiver?
could. I mean, I think he gets 300-400 yards rushing. They're going to give him the ball.
Rushing?
Are you kidding me?
Someone's got to hit a button.
Do you forget who they just drafted? And
Listen.
who they already have on their team?
Oh, it's hard.
But
to-
they
They already
I
have a
believe
sick
he is.
running back.
He's a
and-
gadget.
You're stupid.
Ah,
That
listen.
opponent is stupid. Let's battle.
Listen,
The
he is
button
a,
has been pressed. Don't
okay,
talk to me.
Okay.
You are in a battle now. So here's the rules for the button, everyone. The button is
Hold on, we got to top that off a little
Yeah.
bit first.
the
He's got
when
a
you
lot of
top
melted
that off,
water
I'll
in
explain
there.
the
That's
rules.
all melted ice.
The
and
rules for
Coca-Cola.
the button are if somebody here on our
Ugh.
panel says something so fucking stupid that they deserve to
Outlandish
finish their
childish.
drink, somebody will press the button to challenge them. Colby has challenged Anthony to the point he just made. That
300 to 400
Laviska
yards rushing
Shenault is going
for
to get 300 to 400
is
yards rushing
ridiculous.
on the Jaguars this year. So now Anthony's going to get an opportunity to defend himself. Colby will counter, and Aaron and I, the two people not in the battle, will decide the winner. The loser will finish their drink.
Okay. You're an analytics guy, right?
Sometimes, not tonight.
Right?
Yeah, he's not a numbers guy.
So
tonight.
you're
my
telling me-
argument's 4 words. My
300
argument's
yards.
4 words.
300 yards is not a lot of yards to get rushing, right? This is the guy that they hand the ball off a decent amount of time. If he gets 20 yards a game rushing, he breaks 300 yards. Am I wrong?
That's correct.
Mathematically, that sounds right. But why would he only?
How
get
do you-
20
how do
yards
you-
a game?
This is come on. The
But in
guy's
order
a
to
gadget
get-
player.
In order to get 20 yards rushing, and I don't want to intervene on this. I'm just hoping
He-
you get the message. In order to get 20 yards rushing, how many rushes does he need to get?
You break out one time and you have 20 yards.
But
I mean,
how many
that's what he-
rushes
that's-
does it take to break
but
out one time? He's not going to
Yeah,
average
but
20
no,
yards.
but
per
you have to
rush.
understand is
One rush, 20 yards.
Throwing the-
Every
throwing-
game. That's it. One
So-
rush, 20 yards.
so
it's the
throwing the ball.
philosophy.
So what he did a lot of time, what he did
Jet
last year, were you just said screens. That's a rush.
Only if
That's
it's a true screen. But
that's
yeah.
a rush.
Yeah,
He got a lot of screens last year.
Actually, a lot of screens are passes
That's what I'm
because the
saying.
quarterback has to
That's what
run
I'm saying.
15 yards back for his life
Yeah,
because the
not all,
line's not
screen,
blocking.
not
for
all
him.
Listen.
screens are rushes. Most screens are
A
not
lot
rushes,
of his screens last year were
Sweeps and
bubble
stuff, rushes.
screens.
Bubble
He
screens
was-
aren't rushes either.
Yeah, they're.
If they throw it backwards, that's a
Oh,
rush.
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
He got a lot of them last year.
That's
You're-
fine.
And he did. I mean, he's gonna get those.
All right.
That's
Colby said
that's
he
your
has 4
gadget
words,
guy.
so
That's
that
four.
kind of hooked
I'm
me.
excited to hear the
I'm
forwards. Go ahead.
hooked to these 4
James
words.
Robinson, Travis Etienne.
They put Travis Etienne at wide receiver.
They drafted
Permanently?
a first-round running back to put at wide receiver.
They
He is
changed it.
taking
Is Colby going to hit this
snaps.
button twice in one
They
conversation?
put him-
Taking
Money.
snaps at wide receiver.
Yes,
They didn't put him
they
at
put
wide
the-
receiver.
Listen,
It's mini.
It was
It's mini camp.
Travis Etienne is going to be,
The
in my
number one.
opinion, he's going to be. Who was on the Bears last year? Who's your second running back?
Cohen.
The guy who they
Cohen.
use. No, the guy who the third running back then.
Patterson.
Cordell Patterson.
Cordell Patterson.
That's what he's going to be. He's going to be mostly a running back, but he's going to catch
Cordell
a bunch of backs
Patterson
and shit.
was a receiver.
Not on the Bears.
He was not a receiver.
He was not a wide receiver on the
Not
Bears
on the
last year,
Bears.
dude. He practiced.
He caught more passes in the backfield on the Bears than he did. I get what you're saying historically. I'm talking about on the Bears specifically.
That's
come around.
Laviska Shenault.
I think that's Etienne, and they're going to push Shenault out to the outside.
I could come out with this with another argument
No
with
way.
the Chiefs, and that
No
Tyreek
way.
Hill is
No
the
way.
ultimate weapon, and Mecole Hardman is the ultimate weapon to come out of the backfield, and they don't even get 300-400 yards rushing this season.
Yeah, I mean,
And
I
we
think
would
it's pretty
struggle with
obvious.
the run.
I think it's pretty obvious how I feel about this. Aaron, is he going to get 300 yards rushing? Whose argument do you think holds water?
Colby's.
No.
Yeah, you gotta-
Anthony picked
we
me
didn't
up,
even
but-
refill. We didn't even
You-
refill your glass.
Listen,
Just
you-
drink it.
oh my God, and
That's
watch.
40%
You know what?
milk
So-
and 60% Diet Coke.
So when
What-
you
where's some
okay,
more shit?
I will drink that because
Can we
you
get our
guys are all assholes.
Can we get our
But-
statistician to tell us how many rushing yards he got last year? It's me.
I mean, you
It's
could
me,
look it
by
up.
the way. I am looking it up. All right, so you lost. Finish your drink. Not sip it like for 45 minutes like you did last
There
time.
he is. That's
Saw
my
me
boy.
pounding some Coca-Cola. Good for him.
Shenault rushing
Shameless plug.
Just look up his stats.
yards 2020. 91 rushing yards last year.
And
And
you'll
you're
have more
saying
this
he's gonna
year.
get
So they
Well, more.
drafted a first round running back and he's going to go from 91 to 300.
100. I believe so.
You're out of your fucking mind.
Okay. You say what you want.
A follow up for Aaron's
Uh-oh.
answer.
Is DJ
to,
Showtime?
It is. This was from 15 minutes ago or so when we talked about it.
Ooh.
He said the correct answer was they're going to go 17-0.
Like the
So-
way you think.
DJ Showtime.
You got yourself a Bears fan. It is very rare in my experience to hear an optimistic Bears fan.
Yeah, that's why I'm questioning DJ Showtime's
Listen,
credibility.
this
here
is
as a
why
Bears
this is
fan.
why I wanted DJ Showtime Mike to come here and see you because you were the pessimist. He is the ultimate Bears optimist.
I don't know
He is.
of any Bears optimist.
I've never met one.
like-
He is.
I've never
He
met
is.
Well, then he's not from Chicago.
He is 100%. He'll write on there where he's from.
He's from the rich part. Probably
No, he's-
Barrington, if I had to speculate.
Where all the crime
I'd say
stuff's at.
Yeah.
Barrington.
DJ Showtime, if you're still on, you're being called out. We need to know where in Chicago you're from. We need to know if you're from the
North. He's from North.
The
Side.
ritzy
North
pritzy
Side.
area.
He's
From
North
the-
Side. He's North Side.
He's a Cubs fan.
And North Side. I'm from the
I'm
South Side, but I'm
All
a
right,
Cubs
all right.
fan.
We've got two
Yeah,
more.
no Chicago
Yeah.
native's going to be a White
We've got
Sox
two
fan.
more. Two more to close it out. All right. Najee Harris, drafted first round by the Pittsburgh Steelers, is going to be an RB1 this year. RB1 being top 12 running back this year. Not the RB1 and RB1.
Yeah. Top 12.
And Aaron,
Top
we'll start with you.
Top 12, yeah. I'll buy that.
That's it? That's it?
Drink.
Like, no, like
Where was this Aaron
Why?
last week?
we don't need,
Why?
like, yeah, obviously why.
I mean, the Steelers are a running team. Obviously, they grab this guy. They see his worth. They know what he can do. Like,
So you have-
obviously, he's going to, and running back isn't like tight end when you're a rookie. Like, you can be a rookie running back, insert right away and make
That's
plays.
fact.
Like, obviously, they lost the lineman, but they signed Turner
Yeah,
or whatever. Yeah.
a lot of people are saying that's an upgrade.
I mean,
Turner?
But not by name, but they're saying by like PFF score. They're saying you'd be shocked at how bad Villanova
Getting rid of-
was. And-
Well,
No,
Trey
come
Turner's
on.
going to be DeCastro
There's
replaced.
DeCastro.
He's a
Yeah,
guard.
yeah.
Come on.
yeah.
I don't know if they signed anybody to replace Villanova.
No, I don't think.
I don't
they
think
did.
so,
They said he
yeah,
was
either.
like statistically he was.
No, it's
awful.
terrible. That's why when the Chiefs were talking about like signing him, I was not
Villanueva
happy
came
about
into
that.
the league on a tryout basis for the Bears to play tight end. Like, dude's,
He had a
dude's
pretty long
left
career.
He's a
That-
left tackle. Dude's an
That's
Army
pretty-
Ranger. Like,
Is he really?
yeah.
he's
His dad's a general.
Yeah, he's- Military.
All right. So you say yes because the Steelers like to run, and because rookie running backs have no problem hitting the ground.
Yeah.
So that second point, this one I do have a stat for. So I was listening to a podcast that was talking about the prime ages by position. And, wide receiver used to be 29 to 30 was when they hit their peak. Now it's a little bit earlier. It's like 26 to 28. Running backs is 21 to 24.
Wow.
So you either hit
you're
the ground running or
you're out skis,
or you're
man.
done.
You're out
Yeah.
skis
Wow.
in 3
So
years.
really, I thought that was crazy.
That's
too.
great. Yeah, that's wild.
So I can do that for you. I can agree with that point, not necessarily the sentiment. Colby wants you piggyback. Najee Harris is an RB1. You're right. Najee Harris is an RB1. Yes or no?
If he is an RB1, I'm on like the fringe on that one because I don't think he's going to be top 10. I could see him being 11 or 12.
Yeah, well, then he's
But that's still like a big. I don't know. I just don't like their offensive line situation. Really, I don't like it. But that's never stopped a good running back from putting up statistics. So I'm going to say yes.
Oh, God.
I mean, Jamal Charles, throughout most of his career, had an awful offensive line and averaged 5.5 yards a carry.
Today, the Panthers might have the worst line or like the second or third worst line in football, and he just doesn't give a shit.
Yeah.
Because they're afraid he's going to catch the ball.
I don't know much about Najee Harris, so I'm going to ask you guys this question: is he a pass catcher?
He is.
Yeah.
He did everything in Alabama. He is as much
Bye, guys. Good night.
as I want to fight
It's been
this.
real. It's been real hanging out with you.
No, I mean it's as much as I want to fight this because of what happened to the Pittsburgh offensive line because I believe it downgraded. Najee Harris was the clear number one running back coming out of the draft. I mean, some people thought ATN, but pure running back. ATN's more of a hybrid receiver running back. Like I'm telling you,
Throwing out initials like
listen.
he knows the guy personally.
Listen.
Dude, me and my boy ATN.
I'm telling you,
I don't know.
listen.
Oh,
I did a lot of
That's his fucking name. Dumb
I
shit.
did a lot of research on
Yes, that's been
ATN
real
just
good.
because before the draft, everyone talked about the Bills drafting ATN. Well, you know what? They didn't. But I know a lot about him. Najee Harris is 100% the number one running back coming out of the draft.
I agree with that.
Look
I
at the
agree.
number one running backs that came out in the past years.
But you're not
They
worried
always do-
about. You both said yes, right?
Yeah.
Neither one of you are worried about Connor.
He's in
He's
Arizona.
gone.
Not on that
He's
team.
gone.
We talked about this last
Najee
I'm
Harris
sorry.
is the number one back on
Yeah,
Pittsburgh.
I think Benny Snell's like only competition.
Yeah, you're
And
I mean,
Benny
you
Snell.
You guys aren't worried about Willie Pocket?
I mean,
I'm pretty sure
Listen.
Jerome Bettis is in that team somewhere.
when you draft the number one running back, he's your number one running back. You don't draft a running back in the first round for him to be number two.
That can be
Unless
said
you're the
about any
Jags.
position.
Yeah.
He just shit
Unless you're the Jags.
Killing your own fucking argument. The last one.
Right now, who are you taking? James Robinson or ATN as the number one running back?
Ooh, like fantasy wise?
Fantasy, it's hard. Fantasy
I
wise.
don't think that's hard.
Yeah, I'm
James
taking
Robinson, right?
No, I'm taking ATM.
Yeah.
But for his pass catching,
Oh.
not like.
Well, it's because
for
I just
both,
been a
for everything.
first round. If he's for some,
What is I don't understand
Why
what
you
you're
got-
fucking
why-
doing right
yeah,
now.
what's going on,
We're
man?
agreeing with your argument. Your argument was you don't draft a rookie unless they're going to be your starter.
Unless you're
we
the
both
Jags.
just said the rookie.
Unless you're the Jags.
Yeah, and we
Unless
both,
you're
we
the
both said the
Jags.
rookie, and now you're having a tantrum over it.
Because James Robinson was a top.
Dude, I'm
A
loving
top
this
10
right now.
I'm
running
about
back.
to slam this fucking button again.
James
You're gonna finish
Robinson-
another goddamn drink.
okay.
Aaron's going to be driving you home.
But
tonight.
listen,
I'm
was
moving it over. You want it? You want
Is
the
he
button?
drunk already?
listen, James Robinson was a number of
The artificial
running back
sugar's
one,
real in
He was
that
absolutely
code.
fantastic.
right?
Yeah.
Was
But you
James
know what?
Conner?
You know what else they have?
Was James Conner?
A new coach,
Was James Conner?
quarterback. A new.
Listen, you
It's a
don't.
different team.
I don't care.
Do you think the Jaguars last year?
Talent. If you have talent, you don't get rid of talent.
Oh, really? Who did
I-
they get rid of last year when fucking Robinson lit on fire? Who did they
Who?
get rid of?
Who?
Like one of the
Fournette.
best fucking fantasy running backs that has existed for the last 5 years. Leonard Fournette has been fucking a
The-
fantastic fantasy
The
running
Bucks
back.
almost cut him.
I understand, but how good was he on the fucking Jags?
Because he was a piece of shit.
No, you are talking out of every side of your mouth, and I don't know how you do that.
This is
with
what
all
I love
those
about
wieners in
Anthony. You never get a clear answer from him.
there. What a politician!
He was.
This guy, I'm
Yeah.
voting for him.
He was. He was 10 minutes
I don't know what
away.
political party he's running for because he can't explain it to me.
He
but
was-
I'm voting for
He
him.
was 10 minutes. He was 10 minutes away from not even being on the Bucks.
I agree with you, but my point is that he was good on the Jags. It doesn't matter. Is my point. Running backs are a dime a dozen. They're fucking worthless. They're flavor of the week. It doesn't matter. So whoever you think the best running back's going to be is all based on the situation, not the individual talent. And the Jaguars have historically loved to run the ball. They have murdered whoever their number one running back is, not because they're elite, but because of their opportunity, because they run them 40 times a game. The Jaguars have rushed more than any other team in the NFL. But
ATN is not a.
now they have a new fucking coach
He is
and a
not
new fucking
They got
quarterback.
He is not a.
And the Lord.
I'm telling you,
They
he's
got
not.
Jesus on their side and Tim Tebow.
Hallelujah!
Yeah, he's not. ATN is not a 20 rush a game back. He's not.
James Robinson will be the
Number one back.
Yes.
Yeah.
But fantasy, ETN will score higher. That's why they're moving him all over the place. That's why they're putting him in the backfield. They're putting him
I get it.
outside.
ETN
I
He's
mean,
gonna
he's
get-
the Swiss Army knife. for them.
Yes, exactly.
ETN's
Three
going to
cover.
get 8 to 10 probably carries a game and likely get probably 5-6 targets a game.
Yes. And Jane Robinson will get
15 to 20
carries a game and 0
Yeah.
targets. And
I
because
agree
of
with
that, okay, so half a point per catch, even if you get 0 yards plus the yardage, like that, it's just worth more. Receptions are worth more.
It depends on what league you're in.
Shut the fuck up. All right, we spent way too much fucking time on that. I should have lit this fucking light.
Well, Chenault, doesn't it?
We have any-
Not
we have any
Dick.
questions?
We got one more. We
Do we have
got
any
one more.
questions?
No, we don't have any questions. We have one more. Do we have questions? We don't have any more questions. I have a Bills trivia question for the guy in the blue shirt. If he gets it right, I'll do a shot myself. All right, here's the deal. If you're
Ooh.
still watching,
Who said this?
we're going to invite you on the stream, and we want to see you do the shot. And if I see you agree to that, then we will accept your terms. So you
That's
say
pretty
yes.
legit.
I will send you the link. You join the stream. You don't have to download anything. It's just a very, very simple thing to get on here.
It's a pretty
You do the
solid
shot in
I
front
like
of us,
this.
and we'll accept your terms. In the meantime,
Do it.
Do
in the
it.
meantime,
Do it.
so far we have talked about Michael Thomas. We all agreed he is still an elite wide receiver. Kyle Pitts
Mhm.
probably won't do it this year. We had a little bit of question back and forth. Derrick Henry, most of us thought he will hit 2,000
Half
yards
of us.
this year. We were having half on that one.
It was
Yeah,
a
that's
50-50.
Okay. We
Oh,
all
Palmer
agreed
on
Lamar
that.
Jackson will not make top 3. We were split on Laviska Shenault.
Chenault's going to be the next CMC. as far as I am.
The next one was Najee Harris, RB1.
Najee.
Najee Harris, RB1. It's the
You'll get-
spelling. It
He's
kills me
gonna
every time.
he's gonna
It's the
sue
spelling.
you
It's
for
like
It's the
Menage.
spelling.
Yeah.
It's the
Menage.
spelling. Listen, I don't know
Menage
college
is
ball. Next year, I'm gonna know everything about him. All right. Where were we on that one? So
I like him.
were we 2 and 2
I
on
think
that
I
one
think
as well,
he's I
or
think
were
he's
we
gonna
3
be
and
I
1?
think he's gonna be a top back.
You said
Dude, we
yes
don't know what Anthony
to
said.
top 12.
I go
You
back
said
and forth.
maybe.
I was like probably
Yes,
towards
he's on the
yeah.
I think
'cause
he will.
I said yes.
You
Yeah.
said yes. Oh, so
Yeah, I
What did
think
I
we're
say?
all.
Did
You
I
didn't,
say
you
yes?
didn't, you
What
didn't
do you
say
think?
anything.
I
yet.
think no.
Anthony
Okay.
was talking in circles.
You're
we,
right,
We
you're
never
right.
got to you.
I'm gonna finish the Najee Harris off with a no. My reasoning for it is a lot of offensive line turnover. I think Big Ben has a lot to prove this year. I think he went from like he might be the greatest fantasy quarterback in history when you do his entire career, like total fantasy points out of career,
Yeah.
because he has been elite for his
He's got
entire
rings
career.
too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
except for last year and the year before because he was out. But last year with the bum elbow and blah, blah, blah.
Probably
So
throw Peyton Manning in there.
I think he gets back to form.
No, he's not.
No, but But his career wasn't. It was half the duration. I'm talking a whole career.
What? Peyton Manning's career was like 99 to 2015.
Didn't they get drafted like the same year?
No.
No.
Ben Roethlisberger.
He
You
got
think
drafted
Eli
with
Manning.
Eli.
Oh, Eli, you're
Yeah,
right.
Peyton Manning's been there since the
Come
late
on.
90s.
Anything
Yeah.
you
Man.
said tonight is
I
still out
will-
the window. You're a
Listen,
piece of
I
shit.
will bet you a shot that Big Ben has more career fantasy points, standard pointing, than Peyton Manning does.
Oh, I would agree with that if it was Eli, but Peyton adds a different.
Well,
You
he
gonna
was
do it?
saying Peyton.
Do you want me to look it up right now?
Yeah, well, first let's see if he agrees.
Peyton's last couple of years were rough, but
Are you doing the math?
he's thinking. Let him contemplate this.
You're taking too long. These people don't want to hear you think.
Say it. Just say Manning and ride it, dude. Die on that hill, bro. Die on that hill.
Okay, you're gonna die on that fucking hill. Think about how, like, I'm not talking real life. I'm specifically
fantasy, I
talking
get it, I get it.
fantasy.
Specifically talking fantasy.
Manning had like a 3 or 4 year span where he was like off the fucking charts good, like just ridiculous. I won my company fantasy league on his
I'll
back.
say no, just because Ben Roethlisberger can move outside the pocket and run when needed on the occasional
doing it
basis.
the legs. All right, I'll take
Peyton
it.
Manning
I'll accept.
has one
So
rush.
what are the facts? What's the truth behind that, though?
I'm looking up right now.
That's probably a hard thing to Google, honestly.
Yeah.
Career fantasy points. is
I
probably a
think if
hard
you just
stat
looked
to
at
Google.
career statistics and looked at overall like
Pretty
yardage,
obvious, yeah.
you probably
yardage,
would,
touchdowns,
pick
and
that apart.
interceptions, and get kind of an
You're
idea.
probably right. All right, so Najee Harris, we were sitting 3-1. Last one we're gonna go through, and then we'll let you guys go. Is Tom Brady proved age is no issue for him, and he will exceed his stats from 2020 in his second year with the Bucs. Let's start with you, Anthony. Or do you not want to start because you're doing research? You got it.
I think Tom Brady. I
We
think-
should see
Go
with
on.
Josh out.
Stephon
I mean-
Diggs Chenault Jr.
It's hard. Honestly,
Hurts
it's
to
hard
the
because
Bills.
he's a year older. He's a year older.
What is he, 43?
He's old.
44 this year, I think.
He's going to be
He's-
44.
he
I
is.
think he turns
43.
44 in the middle of the season.
But look at him last year. As the year went on, he got better. He learned the offense.
That's the whole second year. So that
he learned the offense.
I agree. So the question here is, now that he's in his second year, he doesn't have that learning curve. He has a rapport with all of his team. He knows the coach. He knows the system. He is settled in his home. And there's an extra game. He should.
He should.
theory,
He should.
Even if he regressed a little bit, he
Okay.
would still exceed from last year.
This is my thing.
This is his thing, guys.
I'm going to let you guys know.
Yeah. He's going to let us know.
I am
Like that, bro.
being a Bills fan.
Smooth.
Every year,
Smooth.
every year,
Anybody?
every year, I have said it's the end of Tom Brady. And every year he's proved me wrong. Fuck him. I hate Tom Brady. But he does. He proves me wrong every year. How do you bet against him? You're a Dolphins fan.
Well, with any luck, you're going to bet against him and I'll prove you wrong.
How a Dolphins fan?
You're
How do
gonna
you
bet
bet
for
against?
him,
I mean,
and
how do you bet
prove wrong.
against him? I think that second year quarterback in the system you're in, you learned your mistakes from the beginning of the season. He's gonna have a better year. He is. I mean, I can't bet. I'm done betting against him. I every year I was like, we're gonna beat him. We're gonna beat him. 17 years we didn't beat him.
Yeah, Bills fan, we did beat him. Okay.
That's the only person you beat. Two wins a year, and that
It's
was
Fitzmagic. Got the Chiefs
Come
number
on.
2 seed. It's tough to. It's
Oh,
Exactly.
God,
Don't-
you
no.
had all this.
no.
Listen.
I got
God,
this.
Aaron, God help me.
I got
You
this.
start with it's tough.
I already know what I'm gonna say. It's tough. No, I want to say he's going to take a step back, and not that he's going to be dog shit, but even with 17 games, 40 touchdowns is a lot of fucking touchdowns in a season. He had a lot of yards, a lot of touchdowns. Even a regressed season could still be
28.
fucking 4,000 yards
So for
and 35
context,
touchdowns.
he finished QB8 last year.
I mean, we're talking about fantasy. I still think he's gonna.
40 touchdowns.
It's
12
gonna be.
interceptions.
He's either
How
gonna
many
be.
interceptions?
40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions.
Think of it this way.
It's
You
gonna
have
be.
two
It's
of the
gonna
best
be close to
receivers.
that. Whether
You
it's plus or minus a touchdown or not. I mean, that's
Well,
my
which one
thing.
is it going to be?
It's gonna be the same. Like if you take a per game average, it's gonna be the fucking same.
You have two of the best receivers in the game.
What a piece
in
of
football.
shit answer.
No,
that was.
you-
Hold on.
But listen,
He
you have two of the
finished
best
with
receivers.
349.92 fantasy points last year,
And if
4,633 yards, 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions, 6 rushing yards, but 3 rushing touchdowns.
Because he's a
He's-
fourth and
he's a
one
sneak.
fucking master.
Quarterback sneak. He's the quarterback. Come on.
Is he
You have-
going to exceed his fantasy points from last year?
Well, there's 7. If you want me
Why
to
not?
do the cheap answer, there's 17 games. So
Then
yeah,
say yeah.
because
You
I
have-
said he's gonna.
but listen,
So you're saying he's gonna keep pace enough, at least,
Yeah.
to where that extra whatever, couple percent, 7%,
Yeah.
game is gonna okay.
do you agree that he has two of the best receivers in the game?
I'm not.
I'm asking you.
It's
No,
Aaron's turn.
he
Yes.
is. I mean, yeah, he's got fucking Chris Godwin, and I'm not arguing that. That's not been part of my point at all.
And look at his running back core.
Same one from last. He's literally got the
But-
same team
but-
from
yeah,
last
yeah,
year.
look at- yes.
For the first time in NFL
But look-
history, he has the exact same team.
But look,
And
but
also, you didn't even mention Antonio Brown in that
Yeah.
fucking mix.
He's only going to
when
get
did they
better.
get? When did they get Antonio Brown though?
My point is, like, he should be coming into form. They should have
Yeah.
3
Hun-
outstanding wide receivers.
100%.
I know, but you just named the top 2. I'm defending
that was my
you.
point.
I'm
That was my
defending
point.
you.
Is like,
Just
how
He's
do you
arguing with
agree.
himself.
It's
at
just
this
so
point.
hard to tell his point because he
loves
argues with
arguing.
himself.
But-
They're like, the
How
Bills
do
are the best. He's like, what the fuck?
Best
How do you-
arguments we have on this show are Anthony versus Anthony.
But how
They
do you
really
not?
are.
How do
They
you
really
not
are.
give him? You have Antonio Brown, Godwin, Evans.
Well, let's
Your running backs are you have 2 good running backs. I mean, you're gonna exceed what you did last year.
ask Aaron. Aaron, how do you feel about it?
This is going to be an arduous decision.
Oh, you
No.
cum dumpster.
Oh my God!
Um,
Finish your drink.
Do I think? I mean, yeah. I think we all know you don't bet against Tom Brady. You know, will he put up 40 touchdowns, 12 interceptions this year? Who knows? Maybe he'll put up. Maybe we'll clean it up, and there won't be as many interceptions. We
Finish
don't
your
know.
drink. I'm driving you home.
Interceptions are
But
-2.
That
doesn't
being said, I think if there's any quarterback in the league that has the potential and personnel on the team to do what they did last year, it's Tom Brady.
All right, fine. We got 3
I'm gonna say
yeses.
that.
I'm gonna be the asshole here.
I mean, you're an
You're gonna
asshole.
say
so
no.
we
Fine. I am gonna say no.
No, we understand.
I'm
you're an
not
asshole.
going to say no because I'm a Tom Brady hater. I have a tremendous amount of respect for Tom Brady. I acknowledge everything that he has done. Him switching teams, picking Tampa. What a fucking strategic move for
Very
his legacy.
strategic.
Like, what a great move for his legacy. I'm going to go to a team that is ready to win a Super Bowl, and I'm going to do it on the year that it's their home stadium, and I'm gonna break every trivia question that exists
But
in
that
football.
wasn't his
You
first pick.
shut your
That
fucking
wasn't his
mouth.
first
Anthony, you've
pick.
spoken already.
That wasn't his first pick.
You don't know that stuff.
Come on.
We'll talk about it
Come
in a second.
on.
I understand all of that, and he is fantastic. Yes, I've been rooting against him my entire fandom, and he's done it with good wide receivers. He's done it with bad wide receivers. He's done it in every situation. I get it, but my thing is in today's NFL, it's about creativity and it's about play calling, right? Like you can have what is more or less a mediocre team, and if you have an outstanding coach, if you have an outstanding play caller, you will excel. And the inverse is true as well, right? If you have the most talented team in the world, but Mike McCarthy's calling your plays, or fucking
You accidentally win a Super
or
Bowl.
Bill O'Brien is running your team.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. You're complete fucking trash.
You're
You
ruining
just
your
make
whole
the
argument.
playoffs and then
No,
You
you
just ruined your
I'm
Bruce
doing the whole thing.
Arians.
No, I know. Bruce Arians is great. I love Bruce Arians. I love Bruce Arians, and I love Tom Brady.
So do I.
I love the
Awesome.
two of them.
Yeah, Bruce
But
Arians is awesome.
Bruce Arians
Gotta
He's a
has
on
a
the show.
style.
He's a pimp.
Tom Brady
He
has a
drinks- he
style.
drinks bourbon.
Neither one of
He
those
fucks.
things have
He
changed
fucks.
throughout their entire career. Bruce Arians does Bruce Arians. Tom Brady does Tom Brady. They clicked in the second half of the year. I'm not downplaying anything they accomplished. What they accomplished last year was amazing. But I think there's enough film this year. I think they skated through enough teams in the playoffs to get there that I just don't think that they're going to repeat. It honestly, this might even sound cheap, but it almost is too poetic that this is going to play out the way that they think it's going to play out. I honestly think that they're not only going to take a step back, I think Tom Brady's going to take a massive step back. I think Tom Brady is going to throw less than
Bowman Brothers bourbon.
I think Tom Brady.
Vinny's been drinking.
I think Tom Brady is going to throw less than 35 touchdowns, and this is with an extra game from his 40 last year.
All right.
And I think he's going to throw more than 15 interceptions, and I think he will have 0 rushing touchdowns.
You're an
And
attention
because
seeker.
of that reason,
I can
he will
see
not-
I mean, I can
will
see
not-
I
that,
can see
but
the
it's
touchdowns. The
You know what?
interceptions is
You-
just where I might
You
not see
are
it.
an attention seeker. You're an attention seeker because what you just said was absolute. I'm going to use a big word for you, Aaron. Blasphemy.
It's kind
Right?
of
I used arduous.
Arduous is a way.
I mean, you can slam
It
the
is-
button.
it is
Listen,
way better.
There is a
That
button
is-
right
that-
there, Anthony.
that is not
if you
true.
If you don't like it, hit the button.
There's one
If you
team.
don't like
Anthony,
it-
instead of arguing with
Yeah,
yourself,
but
There's
just have to
one
listen to you.
team.
If
There's
you
two.
Have them
Like
get that
it-
There's
cheese.
one
That's
team
what the button's for.
in the NFC.
Dude, are you? Oh,
Listen, there's
I
one
thought
team.
this was a Bills thing. I
No,
was
no,
about
no.
to
There's
flip- I was
one
about to
team-
flip this
It's
fucking
gonna
over
turn into a
to-
No,
Stephon
there's
Diggs thing
one
in like less than
team-
5 minutes. So just
Yeah, I'll say
let
it.
him steam out.
Stephon Diggs. Drink your drink. Stephon
There needs
Diggs.
to be
There
accountability
it
in this
Accountability.
No.
Accountability.
Yeah.
Somebody needs to
There's
bring it
one
in.
team in the NFC
Oh.
that it can challenge Tampa Bay.
This is how you know we've had a rough show. We're on our second bottle, and not only is it a second bottle, it's a barrel-proof bottle.
Listen.
For those of you,
But
who
it's
are
not
here
on
for
me this
bourbon.
time. Surprising.
There's one team in the in NFC that I think could beat
The Vikings.
Tampa.
Who?
Absolutely.
The Vikings?
No, I said the Vikings. What, the Packers?
The Rams.
I like it.
Okay, I'll
Oh,
give
yeah.
the Rams.
I like
I will agree with the Rams.
And the only reason is
I'm on the Matt
because
Stafford
with
train.
Stafford,
I like it.
you can put up a ton of points.
I like it. I like it.
That's the only reason.
And they got Aaron Donald.
Other than
Donald's
other
sitting
than
DJ Showtime. Time out 1 second. DJ Showtime. I'm going to give you one more chance here. We and I'm only saying this because we had some fluctuation in viewership here. If you're still watching us, this goes for anybody who's watching us. We are very interactive with our chats. If you haven't been on our show before, you posed a Bills trivia question and you said you do shot if he was wrong. And my rebuttal to that was, if you accept the terms, we will send you an invite. We will bring you into the show virtually, and we will watch you do the shot
Virtually?
if he gets the trivia question correct. So if you agree to those terms, let us know in the chat. I'll send you the link. We'll bring you on, and we will let you ask the trivia question live, and one of you will take a shot.
other than that, let me ask you a question.
If he does,
Other
it's
than
like
the Bucks.
BJ Showtime.
Hey,
Seriously, other than the Bucks,
Mhm.
who comes out of the NFC?
Seahawks, Packers, Rams.
Those are just three. Those are three that
You want me
came
to keep going? You want me to
effortlessly
keep
out of
going?
his mouth.
Rams are the only one.
Dude, no. First of all, I believe that Aaron Rodgers will start the season this year, and you're gonna pretend like the Packers weren't.
And the
I'm
Seahawks
just-
still
I'm
aren't
just
in
acting
like-
well,
Yeah,
what
well,
did I say?
well,
I mean,
And the
right now.
Seahawks are elite.
No, but-
they had a
but
bad defense last year, yes.
But
But if they can shore up their defense even a little bit, the
Listen,
Seahawks are the best. The Seahawks are probably the best offense.
they
in
just
the
lost their
NFC.
best corner.
Hey, offense, dude.
I said
The
Offense.
they're the-
Seahawks lost their best corner.
I don't know, who's their best?
Quentin,
Tarantino.
Tarantino. No, the kid who has a brother with half an arm.
Oh, fucking
Oh,
Griffin.
Griffin,
Shaquille.
Shaquille Griffin. They lost.
Dude, that's not Quentin, by the way, bro.
whatever his name. Quentin Griffin. His
Again,
brother is his
again,
brother.
It's
I digress.
Shaquille.
Shaquille.
Whatever you want to call
They're
it.
both, I think, on the
Whatever.
Jaguars.
Whatever you want to call
You
him.
lose your best
What's his
corner.
name?
How do
They call it
you
a
how do you
goddamn
lose
face.
your best
Not a
corner?
fucking monster.
You lose your best corner, and you've both said one of the best positions to have is corner.
I've never said that.
You're a liar. You have.
That was for a training camp or whatever.
Prove it.
last-
I've never
last
said
week.
that.
Yeah, I said offensive
Yeah.
lineman. We had a training
Yes,
camp.
No,
that was for
stop
joint
it.
practice.
Stop
Yes,
it. You lose
yes,
your
that
best
was joint
corner, and
practices.
you think you're going to become
I'm
a better team.
I'm a linebacker man all day.
You might be, but
Linebacker.
listen, you
You
lose
are.
your best corner, and you're gonna
a
become a better
defensive
team.
line guy.
It doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Seahawks are out of the question. If Aaron Rodgers comes back, Packers win. They come out of the NFC.
Over the Bucks.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I agree with that. If Aaron Rodgers has so much to prove, so much to like, he hates Green Bay.
It's a goddamn MVP. What is
Yes,
this to
Yeah,
but he
I don't
no,
know.
I'm
Yeah,
saying, he hates.
I'm
he hates
scratching
Green
my
Bay.
head over
Jesus
here.
Christ. Every week,
He
every
hates
fucking
Green
week,
Bay.
I keep us on schedule, and then you argue with yourself.
And derails us.
You murder the whole show.
Listen,
We're not
he
letting you
derails
go this
us.
year. Shut
But
the
I'm
fuck
right.
up.
But I'm right, and
It-
you're wrong.
God, I wish you had your own mic.
You
This
wish you
guy
could
has
hit a
been-
button to
This
This
call
guy has
bullshit
been
on him?
begging
Well, it's
for
right
boom
there.
mics, and I promise you, if we get boom mics, I will mute your ass so
Listen,
fast.
because you don't want the truth.
Who wants to?
God,
You can't handle the
I mean,
truth.
where's this
That's the
going? What are
problem.
we arguing at this
literally
point?
nothing.
Aaron,
Literally
you're drinking like a child, first of all, and I'm driving you home.
First off, I still have had more than you.
No, you haven't.
Yes,
No, you haven't.
yes, I have.
Stop it.
Yes, I have.
Grow up.
You-
Grow up. What are you looking up right now?
Nothing. Make your stupid point.
My point is, I don't even know what my point is.
Oh,
See, I should
exactly.
be driving
What
home.
are
at
we
this
talking
point.
about? What are we talking about now? Because I've already proved you wrong in everything else.
Oh my god, Vinny, you gotta hit that fucking button at this point, dude.
Someone's.
How do you
Like,
even argue with
Colby
it?
already hit it.
I don't know what to argue.
You're
I
looking
hit
up
it every week.
Cristiano
Yes,
Ronaldo at this
Anthony, it's your time.
I think Anthony's like 0-4 on the button.
No,
I don't
right
think he's
now.
ever
But I'm
won.
right every single time.
You've never been right when someone's hit that
listen.
button.
I come home, and
And your wife agrees.
my
with
wife
you?
goes-
That's fantastic.
my wife says, "Why do Aaron and Colby not like you?" And I was like, "They like me,
We love you.
but they want to argue with
You
me."
just talk out of your butthole, and it don't
It's
make no
not
sense.
true.
It stinks, and it stinks.
I haven't said one thing wrong tonight.
Yeah, you said one thing
Should
right.
all-
Oh, come
Should not
on.
lead the
All
league
right.
in rushing this year. Is one.
I didn't say that. Get the fuck out of here.
All right, here's where we're at.
Come on.
We finished our segment. We're done with the segment. We didn't hear back from you, DJ Showtime. So I'm going to pose a trivia question, and this is how we're going to end the show.
All right.
I'm not going to tell you if you're right or wrong. Well, I'm not going to tell you. I guess I am going to tell you if you're right or wrong.
Yeah. If someone's
One
got
by
to-
one, I'm going to ask you. I'm not going to tell you the answer. I'm only going to tell you if you owe me a shot. Okay?
I just do my shot now.
No. I'm going to start with you, Aaron, because you said that. How many days of the week have
7.
the NFL played a game, Aaron?
That's
How many days of the week?
Yes, as in Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. How many of those days of the week has
We're
an
talking-
NFL game been played?
We're talking like during. At most,
days of the week.
I would say Sunday, Monday, Thursday game. So 3.
No one's ever played on any other day that.
Well,
There's never
there's-
been a Saturday
there's-
game in Europe, which happens every year.
Those are generally playoff games or Saturday games.
That's not my question is, how many of the 7 days in a week, how many of those days has an NFL game been played?
Let's say 4.
Any Monday,
Let's say
any
4.
Tuesday,
Let's say
any
4.
Wednesday,
I'm
any
not-
Thursday,
I
any
know
Friday,
it's
any Saturday,
3.
any
In my
Sunday.
heart's heart, I know it's 3, but I'm going to say 4.
Okay, 4,
I'm gonna go 6.
6,
5.
5. You all drink it. 7. There has
That's
been an
Friday.
NFL game
I
been
thought-
played on
How do you
all
not drink?
7
Yeah, that's.
I'll drink
bullshit.
with you.
Yeah,
I'll drink with you.
got to.
I looked it up. I had to cheat.
What
year
I'm
was
not gonna
that?
pretend
What
like
year
I
was
did
I didn't.
That
The
took
Friday's what
place?
threw me off. I knew
But Tuesday. is
Tuesday
what's
went.
off.
Tuesday.
No,
No,
Tuesday,
Tuesday was
Wednesday,
off.
Friday.
I figured
With
Tuesday's
the COVID games,
because
with
of
the
COVID.
COVID games, you had Tuesday and a Wednesday.
There have been games played on every day of the week in the modern NFL. The one Tuesday game was played to a Pennsylvania blizzard. The single Wednesday game was because the NFL moved Washington, New York, Thursday night in the season opener, so it wouldn't overlap John McCain's speech at the Republican convention. The Friday
R.I.P.
game was a Christmas or New Year's related, both.
There's some COVID stuff.
And the
in there,
Kansas
though.
City-Miami matchup of 2005 occurring after being moved up a few days.
And who won that one, huh?
Man,
Can you
Colby-
ask me? I want to know. Can you
Over
ask
because he
me
knew he was
the Buffalo trivia question?
I don't know what it is. He didn't answer. He never posted it.
Your DJ Showtime was like F this.
DJ
man.
Showtime.
Oh.
Oh, we
Oh.
have feedback from a wife of the show. I'm not going to say whose wife. I'm just going to say she's a bitch.
That's my wife.
She said,
This just goes either way here.
Because these
You
two
can
fight
flip it
more
to
than
that.
I've ever seen in my life.
that she said, OMG, I knew the answer. I'm not going to say whose wife it is. I'm just going to say her name in the show is Taylor Vitiello.
My last name is Vitiello. So what was the question?
The days of the week.
Oh, but
She
she
got
just
the
said-
number right,
she just said
Anthony.
for real.
Oh my
All right,
god!
all right. She said she knows the answer.
Your husband's driving home. I'm sorry, and I pray for you.
I don't want you to drive me home now.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Look,
so much
can I
for
finish
watching.
this? Can I finish the show like this? My
Always
wife,
got- guys
my
always
wife,
gotta talk.
listen,
It's gonna be
my
only
wife
30.
texted me and said,
9:22.
Anthony, there's no picture. What am I
We
supposed to
struggled.
watch?
You told us.
While
We struggled. We
she said
struggled with
to
some
me,
AV. We struggled
she
with some
texted me
AV.
and said,
I
Anthony,
just found the hatch.
I have no picture of you. What am I supposed to
Yeah, I mean,
watch
if he's driving
while I
home,
use
you
my
don't wanna
vibrator?
feel it
Yeah,
when
dude,
it-
I don't-
yeah.
I can't wait to post whatever your wife responds.
I texted back. I said, you're a dirtbag. And she,
Let me see it. Let me see the
You
text.
said you're a dirtbag to
I
your
want to see the
wife.
text.
I'm going to show you this text right now.
Just don't mind the dick pic that he sent her.
Oh my God, he's not even joking. Taylor, you're a filthy animal.
Look.
Oh my God, you really weren't joking. I was being.
I know.
sarcastic. That is a true text.
What did she post?
You're
Look at that.
You're a filthy savage.
What? I don't know what's going on
You're
here.
a filthy
She
animal.
said, oh, okay, I just wasn't sure.
No,
that
no.
you-
Don't. You're
Okay,
gonna get.
I'm-
Yeah,
I'm-
dude, don't get
Yeah.
yourself in trouble with your wife.
Shut it
Not
down.
on the
Abort
internet.
mission. Shut it down.
Yeah. Oh, that was
All right, we love you guys. Thank you very much for watching. We're so sorry for the
great
technical difficulties. I promise we're getting better every week despite the show. I learned that I can reset the streaming app now without killing the stream. So next time we'll fix it much, much faster.
So moral of the story
Yeah.
is you're a piece of shit.
You know, we're learning
You
as
keep
we go. We're
slinging
doing
that
our
phrase
best.
around,
We're learning
dude.
as we
Stefan
go.
Diggs is this
Thank you,
one.
everybody. We'll see you next week.
Thank you.
Stefan Diggs.
Cheers.
Stefan Diggs.